Dio Grachas. Good morning, class. I am Manjima Yorimita, your presenter this morning. I will going to tackle about the classroom climate and social emotional learning, or SEL. But before that, here are the learning objectives you need to attain. First, we have describe the classroom climate that is conducive for learning by the use of simile or metaphor. Second, we have create a conducive classroom climate in simulation. Third, we have explained the five competencies of social and emotional learning. So, what is classroom climate? So, the classroom climate is a product of the social interactions between and among teachers and students. It is something business like and yet non threatening. When we say climate change, it's all about the interaction between teacher and student. It's all about the bond and the connection between them. When we say something business like and yet not threatening, it's all about that you can learn from them and also you can gain for them. So that is why we call business like and not threatening for student and the teachers. What takes place in a classroom where a business-like and a non-threatening atmosphere prevail? A conducive classroom climate is one that is business-like yet non-threatening. It is a classroom where expectations, rules, and procedures, limits on behavior are made clear from the very first day of school. So if you can still recall, every time we go to the very first day of class, our teacher will ask about something such as what is your expectations about him or her and to the subject, and will implement rules and procedures in the classroom so that the teacher will handle his or her students accordingly. Second, the teacher, who is the leader, is fully aware of what is happening and is control of the classroom proceedings and yet convey the message that she is interested in the concern of students as individuals and the class as a whole. They say teachers are second mother because he is the leader who will give us knowledge and will teach us. Teacher will know what is happening and have the rights to control and to understand his or her students. So lastly, students are made responsible for their own behavior. A student should always remember every mistake causes on our own behavior. So students should be responsible for their actions. How to achieve a positive classroom climate? It is a classroom where specific classroom rules and procedures are clear. So you need to give your students classroom rules and procedures that are very clear and authentic so that they can follow accordingly and smoothly. So second, these classroom rules and procedures are discussed on the first day of class. So these procedures are being discussed on the very first day so that they can produce and they can gain knowledge. 3. Students are involved in the design of rules and procedures. So, students also are involved in designing of rules and procedures so that they will apply it to themselves and follow the procedures and rules accordingly. Techniques to acknowledge and reinforce acceptable behavior and provide negative consequences are employed. So, as a teacher, you need to have techniques to acknowledge and acceptable for your student to have a rules and procedures so that they can accept and also they will follow it accordingly. Clear limits for unacceptable behavior are established. So you need to have a long, clear limits for those students that is very unacceptable behavior to establish. 6. There is a healthy balance between dominance and cooperation. So when we say healthy balance between dominance and cooperation, it is all about dominance. You need to make your students follow you as a leader so that you can gain the cooperation inside the classroom. 7. The teacher is aware of the needs of different types of students. So, as a teacher, you need to be flexible. You need to be aware of the needs of different types of your students. You need to ask them carefully without hurting their feelings and also observe them with with the things that you need to know in order for you to learn um, the best thing that you can give to your students. 8. The teacher is fully aware of the happening in class. So as the teacher, you need to trust your instinct or your guts and be fully aware about happenings in your surrounding inside the classroom. So you need to prepare yourself to the happening inside your classroom. So lastly, 9. So students' responsibility for their own behavior is enhanced. So Marzano et al. 2003. What is social emotional learning or SEL? So social emotional learning is an educational method that aims to foster social and emotional skills within school curricula. SEL is also referred to as social emotional learning, social and emotional learning, or social emotional literacy. So, it is the process of developing the skills we need to understand and manage our emotions. So, relationships, make good decisions, and handle challenges in a healthy way. So, in simple words, SEL helps students become smart not only in their minds but also in their hearts. Classroom climate definitely becomes highly favorable with social, emotional learning. SEL integrates academic, social, and emotional learning. The Collaborative for Social Emotional Learning, or CASAL, the leading organization advancing the promotion of integrated academic, social, and emotional learning for all children in preschool through high school. So we have here five core competencies. So first, we have self-awareness. Second, we have self-management. Third, we have responsible decision making. Fourth, social awareness. And lastly, we have relationship skills. Self awareness means understanding your emotions and thoughts and how they influence your behavior. It is about you need to understand what emotions and thoughts coming out to your mind and how can they influence it to your behavior. And now you have skills in self-awareness include. So first we have identifying emotions. So you need to identify your emotion if it is sad, angry, happy, or emotionally grateful, and so on and so forth. So second we have self-perceptions. So it's about awareness, recognizing your strengths, self-confidence, and self-efficiency. So it is all about you need to identify what kind of strength you have and self confidence so that you can boost your confidence in front of many people. Self management. Self management refers to your ability to regulate your emotions and behaviors in different situations and to set and work toward goals. So self management, it is about your ability to regulate your emotion and how you control it in every situations and every behaviors, and how can you regulate it in public or in private. So it is a self-management on how you can handle yourself um, behavior toward every different kind of situations. Skill include first executive function and self-regulation. So you need to meditate yourself to have to refresh your mind. Second, we have stress management. So you need to stay away from crowded people, or you need to have time to think yourself, or to have me time self in order for you to have a stress management. Lastly, you have self-discipline. You need to discipline yourself not to burst out your emotions everywhere. You need to discipline to yourself that especially in public you need to do that in order for you to have a peaceful and flow life. Relationship skills refers to the ability to establish and maintain healthy and meaningful relationships with others. Skills include: first, we have communicating clearly. We need to communicate clearly so that we could understand each other. Second, listening. You need to listen carefully and attentively. Third, we have cooperation. So if you listen carefully and attentively, you have the cooperation to follow accordingly. Fourth, we have resisting negative pressure. Five, we have resolving conflicts and supporting one another. So if we easily resolve the conflict and problems, then we have a supporting one another so we can live a peaceful life. Third, we have social awareness. So social awareness is the ability to take the perspective of and empathize with others. So you need to have a awareness in order for you to have a perspective of empathizing with others. Skills include: so first we have empathy. Second, we have appreciating differences and respect. We have responsible decision making. So it is the ability to make positive choices and take responsibility for positive and negative outcomes. So you need to have a good mindset in order to have a positive responsibility. So you need to know what is right and what is wrong for you to have a responsible decision making. So you need to know what will be the outcomes of your actions or the consequence of your actions. Skills include: so first we have identifying problems. You need to identify the problems on what is happening to your class. Second, we have analyzing situations. So you need to analyze the situation if it is wrong or right, or it is there is something wrong with the situation. Three, we have solving problems and reflections. So you need to solve problems and also you need to reflect. Thank you for your listening. So do you have any questions, clarifications, or any violent reactions? None? So alright. Thank you for your listening and God bless.